Hello everybody, and it is my great pleasure to bring you the 2021 DDNet Game of the Year Awards. We're going to be announcing one per day over much of this month, celebrating the very best and brightest of the video game industry through the year, and it has been an absolutely incredible year indeed. There has almost not been a single week that has gone by without a game that is worth talking about, and we have almost 50 games to award across all of our categories this year, just showing just how much variety and quality and depth there has been in what developers and publishers have been able to put out through very difficult situations. This year we will be giving away 4 awards per category, 2 bronze, 1 silver and 1 gold. It should go without saying which is the top award, that being the gold of course, but don't overlook the others. These are all excellent games that you're going to see over the course of these awards, and we highly recommend that you try each and every single one of them. So with all of that, sit back, relax and enjoy, and allow us to bring you the very best that 2021 has given us. The first bronze in the Australian and New Zealand category this year goes to the Artful Escape, which, if you can believe it, was actually a failure initially. Back in 2016, the developers took to Kickstarter to try and get this game funded, and it missed the mark and it didn't manage to get there. But that turned to be a blessing in disguise because the developer was able to sign up with Annapurna Interactive to publish this thing. And you got to say that having a publisher probably helped them refine the game to the point that it is, because this is an excellent, beautiful game. You would be hard-pressed to find a game that has a more vibrant and interesting art style. It is a platformer, but it has a very strong love of music that runs through it. And it is definitely a one-of-a-kind, unique creation that we will never see again. This game represents a type of individual creativity that we love to support here at digitallydownloaded.net, and it just happens to also deliver an excellent game that is very enjoyable for just about everybody, not just people who enjoy platformers, but just people who like creative games in general. The next bronze medal goes to The Forgotten City, which is a game that has an absolutely fascinating story behind it. It was started in 2015 when a Melbourne-based lawyer called Nick Pearce took the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim and the excellent modding tools there and started to mess around with it. 1,500 hours of work on the project later, we have this magnificent game that has nothing to do with Elder Scrolls anymore, but is this deep and rich take on ancient Rome, full of mystery and intrigue, and not just that, it has some fascinating gameplay mechanics behind it as well. There is a time loop, so that when the city ends, the player returns to the beginning of those days with the knowledge of what had happened previously or in their previous playthrough, and they use that to deal with the mystery. It's kind of like Majora's Mask, but set in ancient Rome, really. This game is amazing, and you will absolutely love the attention to detail that has gone into it. This is the first game that this new studio has created, and we would imagine that whatever comes next will be very closely watched indeed. The Silver Medal Award for the Australian-New Zealand category goes to Choices That Matter, and Their Heroes Were Lost. If you grew up playing the choose-your-own-adventure style books, as many of us did, then what Choices That Matter offers will be immediately nostalgic, and very appealingly so. It is a very text-heavy game. In fact, you are literally looking at a black screen with a bit of text and one little graphic through most of the experience, but every word and every sentence in this thing is masterfully composed to give you this riveting narrative that is very intense and very easy to get hooked into. There are so many choices to also make in this thing that you feel constantly engaged, and you've got to constantly think about what you will next do, with those choices having some very far-reaching implications. At the time, you might not think about a choice that you need to make, but an hour later, you will suddenly realize that that choice that you made meant everything to how the story is playing out. The game was previously released on mobile, but it has a natural home on the Nintendo Switch, where it is both portable and you can kick back with a controller to watch it on your TV when you're at home. So well done to Tin Man Games for this, and hopefully this is not the last we see of the Choices That Matter series. Finally, we come to the gold medal winner of the Australia and New Zealand category, and it could only go to one game, Unpacking. Unpacking has had a similar impact on the global gaming scene that Untitled Goose Game did for Australian developers a few years ago, and with good reason. Just as Untitled Goose Game was this thing of playful creativity, Unpacking is much the same, just without the aggressive and nasty goose. But Unpacking is this very lovely, nostalgic game that speaks to an experience that we have all had at some point in our lives. We have all had to move, and in doing so we've had to put our entire life, as told through its possessions, into boxes, and then find a new home for those possessions in our new place. If we've had to move somewhere smaller, then maybe we don't have room for all of those possessions, and then some hard decisions need to be made. Unpacking taps into all of that, and does so in a way that is warm and familiar, but at the same time it makes us really reflect on who we are and the nature of our attachment to our possessions, what that means to us, and how we identify with those things, what story that tells about us. So definitely, if you haven't checked out Unpacking yet, give it a go. It is a masterful game. It will only take you 6 to 8 hours to play through, so it does respect your time. Every second of that time is worth it.